ranking all 28 Black Ops 6 gobblegums from worst to best. This video is entirely based on my own opinion, so if you guys disagree with any of my takes, feel free to debate with me in the comments section. With that all being said, let's just jump right into this ranking. Coming in at last place on this list obviously goes to the Whimsical gobblegums. These gums generally provide no value to a player and were just added to the game by Treyarch as a bit of a joke. Of the two Whimsical gums we receive at launch, I give last place to Newtonian Negation. This gobblegum simply makes the zombies fall upwards when they're killed, which can be pretty funny, but it's just not as iconic as the other Whimsical gobblegums on this list. Moving on to our number 27th place, we have Indigestion. This is another completely useless Whimsical gobblegum that just makes all the zombies have severe indigestion. Once again, a pretty funny gum, but unfortunately it's just not very useful in the general game of zombies. Moving forward, here's where we start getting into some actual gobblegums that provide some actual value to your gameplay. At the 26th place on this list is Exit Strategy. This is a new gobblegum added to Black Ops 6 that simply lets players exfil from their game at any time. Overall, this gum seems more like a simple quality of life change rather than providing any additional value to your game. I only rank this gobblegum this low on the list because you can simply wait out those extra 5 rounds and exfil how the game intends for you to do so. Moving on here at our 25th place, we have Stock Option. This one here is a classic gobblegum that got brought back into the game from Black Ops 3. Once again, like all the other gobblegums this low on the list, it's really not that useful. This gum simply allows players to use ammo in their reserves rather than needing to reload all the time. Now, it's not the worst gobblegum out there, but it is very niche and has very niche use cases. So overall, I just have to say that it falls flat compared to some of the other gobblegum choices out there. Next up is Temporal Gift, landing at the 24th place on this list. Temporal Gift basically just increases the duration of power-up drops in the game. Overall, it's decent to run as a bonus in a gobblegum pack, but there's generally a bunch of better options out there. It literally just does nothing other than extend your duration of power-ups by a little bit. Moving up the ladder here, we have the Arsenal Accelerated gobblegum, which is another classic gobblegum from Black Ops 3. This gobblegum increases regeneration time for your field upgrades for a total of 5 minutes. Now, this can be super crucial depending on what field upgrades you use and which strategies you're running, but unfortunately, its minimal effectiveness just doesn't allow for it to shine as much as the other gobblegums in the game. At the 22nd place on this list, we have the new gobblegum called Shields Up. This gobblegum grants a temporary boost to the player's armor, and overall this boost is very nice and very good to have, but unfortunately the gobblegum only lasts for a total of 3 minutes. Once you're up in the higher rounds, 3 minutes just isn't very long, and it just doesn't become that useful to use in higher rounds. Next up here we have the Respin Cycle gobblegum. This gum allows the player to respin the mystery box with a guaranteed chance of getting the same rarity weapon or a higher rarity weapon. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this gobblegum can definitely be very useful for early game setup, but honestly, due to the weapon rarity in Black Ops 6, you really don't often find yourself spinning the mystery box at all. Due to the mystery box feeling unnecessary in this game, I can't really rank this gobblegum any higher. Taking up the 20th place on my list is the classic Immolation Liquidation gobblegum. This gobblegum guaranteed gives you 1 fire seal drop upon activation. Just like Respin Cycle, this gum can be great for the early game setup, but due to the nature of the mystery box in this game, I just really can't see much use of it outside of early game setup. Moving on here, we have the Free Fire gobblegum. This is a brand new gobblegum that grants a player unlimited ammo for a small period of 60 seconds. Black Ops 3 also had a very similar gobblegum that was really overpowered as it allowed unlimited ammo for your wonder weapon. Unfortunately, the Black Ops 6 version of this gobblegum doesn't affect wonder weapons, and due to that, I just can't see it being very useful in many situations, which is why it falls in the 19th place on this list. Taking up the 18th place on this list is the iconic Killjoy gobblegum from Black Ops 3. This is a very simple gobblegum. Upon activation, you get an insta-kill power-up guaranteed. In Black Ops 6, I think insta-kill power-ups can be game-changing as they affect all zombie types, including the elite zombies. Insta-kills allow you to do massive amounts of damage to the constant boss spam we see in Black Ops 6. But alongside the insane boss damage, the insta-kill power-up can just be used to build an insane amount of essence. Alongside its insane ability to build up essence, you can also use this gobblegum to get through a large portion of any round. Overall, I would just say that the Killjoy power-up is super universal and can be used in almost any gobblegum pack. Moving on here, we have the Soda Fountain gobblegum, which grants the player 1 extra perk. This gobblegum can be used for your first perk, basically awarding a free 2,000 essence, or you can save it for your last perk, which would give you up to 5,000 essence. Once again, this is just a great gobblegum, especially for the early game setup, giving you an extra perk to set up. At my 16th place on this list is Wall Power. This gobblegum instantly grants tier 1 pack-a-punch to any weapon you buy off the wall. A tier 1 pack-a-punch is worth 5,000 essence, leaving Wall Power to be on par with the Soda Fountain gobblegum when it comes to essence. Once again, I'll say this is a great gobblegum choice for early game setup, but it would obviously become super useless later on in the game. Moving on here, we have crate power, which acts the exact same as wall power, only it can be used on the mystery box rather than wall weapons. In general, the mystery box has better weapons than wall buys, as you can get the wonder weapon, so I have to place it above wall power. At my 14th place on this list, we have wall-to-wall clearance. This gobblegum basically acts as a fire seal, turning all wall buys into 10 essence. I only place this one above the last 3 gobblegums since it can be used on tier 3 armor, essentially saving you 14,000 points. Its ability to save you 14,000 points can be huge for early game progression, so I gotta give it the 14th place. Next up is Who's Keeping Score, which simply spawns in a double points power up. In general, I'm going to say that Black Ops 6 has a big points problem, which is why the double points power up is so good. Also, the double points power up obviously affects a full team of 4 players, which is why I'm placing it so high on the list. Profit sharing takes up the 12th place on my list since it's basically just a better version of Who's Keeping Score. I don't know about you guys, but personally in my games of zombies, I'm always struggling the most with points in Black Ops 6. So for me, any gobblegums that can maximize my point efficiency are naturally going to place higher for me. Nowhere But Here takes up the 11th place on my list as it is a really good gobblegum for carrying. This gum allows you to instantly teleport to a down player so you can pull off a revive in almost any situation. Overall, this is a great budget gobblegum for co-op games so you can help out your teammates a little bit. Moving into our top 10, we have On the House, which is very similar to Soda Fountain. Soda Fountain grants yourself 1 free perk, where On the House grants everybody on your team a free perk. If this gobblegum is used to maximum efficiency, you can save 20,000 essence at 1 use. Once again, this is a great choice for any co-op game. It can be useful in early game setup as well as late game recoveries. Coming in at 9th place is a controversial one with Cash Back. This gobblegum is guaranteed to spawn in a max ammo drop, allowing every player in the game to completely refill their ammo. If this drop is used on 4-player co-op game, assuming they all have both wonder weapons, you can save up to 80,000 essence per max ammo drop. The ability to save 80,000 essence is why I gave Cashback such an absurd ranking on this list. Anywhere But Here lands the place for the best rare gobblegum in the game. This is a go-to gobblegum for getting out of any sticky situations, allowing you to teleport somewhere completely random in the map. Overall, this is a great gobblegum to carry in basically any situation, allowing for your build to have some insane versatility in your games. Moving on here, we got Idolize taking up the 7th place on my list. I would say this gobblegum just barely outclasses Anywhere But Here because it affects your entire team rather than just yourself. This gobblegum makes everyone in your game invisible to zombies for 30 seconds. These 30 seconds are crucial for getting your team out of bad situations and recovering in general. Moving on here, we have Near Death Experience, which is basically the perfect gobblegum for carrying your horrible team. This gobblegum lasts for a total of 3 minutes and it allows for you to revive your teammates just by being near them. Also, when your teammates get revived using this gobblegum, they're able to keep all of their perks, which is great for being able to keep points in general. Kicking us off into our top 5 is Raindrops. This gobblegum spawns 1 of every drop in the game, being a perfect balance for all the other gobblegums before this. Overall, I would say that this is going to be one of your best gobblegums to run for almost any game of zombies just due to the value in points and free perk bottles that it gives you. Being able to spawn any drop at any time can be great for basically any situation in any game of zombies. Moving on to the 4th place on this list though, we have Wonder Bar. This gobblegum forces the mystery box to give you one of the map's 2 wonder weapons. This would obviously mean that you have a 50-50 shot of either getting the signature wonder weapon or a ray gun. Overall, I would say that this is a great gobblegum. Unfortunately, I can't place it any higher on the list because both maps have a pretty easy side quest to acquire the signature wonder weapon on the map. At 3rd place on this list though, we have the best solo carry gobblegum of all time, Phoenix Up. Upon activation, this gobblegum will instantly revive all players on your team and allow them to keep their perks no matter the situation. In my eyes, this is basically just a slightly better version to Near Death Experience, which is why it takes up the 3rd place on my list. The second best gobblegum of Black Ops 6 has to go to Hidden Power. This gobblegum allows a player to instantly upgrade their weapon to a tier 5, equivalent to a total of 8,500 salvage. This gobblegum is obviously amazing in early game setup and it will help you to turn your loadout weapon into a complete beast at the start of a game. Overall, just a great gobblegum to have in your pack, and we'll move on to number 1 place, which obviously goes to Perkaholic. This is a classic gobblegum for Black Ops 3 that allows you to get every single perk on the map instantly upon activation. Even after getting huge nerfs in Black Ops 6, I would still say that this is the best gobblegum of all time, simply due to its versatility and usability to save points at any time during a match. Anyways, that's going to conclude my ranking. If you guys disagree, make sure to let me know in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one.